Not every great movie finds the audience it deserves. Over the past decade, many films packed with creativity, stellar performances, and bold storytelling have failed to make a splash at the box office. Whether due to poor marketing, bad timing, or simply being too unconventional for mainstream appeal, these movies flopped financially despite their undeniable quality. In this list, we'll highlight 10 box office failures from the last 10 years that deserved far more success. So, the 10th box office flop that deserved to be a success is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Based on the 1960s TV series, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a favourite among fans of Guy Ritchie's distinctive, sometimes divisive style. However, this sleek action film is hard to dislike. One of the standout action movies of the 2010s, it makes up for its thin plot with plenty of stylish set pieces and flair. Unfortunately, poor marketing and its release near Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, a stronger and more popular film, hurt its box office performance. Lukewarm reviews didn't help either. Yet, over time, the film has gained a loyal following, with more viewers appreciating its charm and action-packed fun. And the 9th movie is Star Trek Beyond. Gene Roddenberry struck gold with Star Trek: The Original Series in 1966, launching one of the most iconic sci-fi franchises in history. J.J. Abrams revived the series with 2009's Star Trek and its sequel, Star Trek Into Darkness, both of which were major hits. The third film, Star Trek Beyond, was directed by Justin Lin, known for his work on Fast and Furious. Lin delivered an epic, colourful, and thrilling installment. But despite its quality, the film underperformed at the box office. Released during a crowded summer with a hefty budget, it failed to meet financial expectations. Still, Star Trek Beyond remains one of the most underrated sci-fi films of the 2010s, deserving far more love from fans. And on number 8, we have Deepwater Horizon. Deepwater Horizon, based on the true story of the infamous oil spill, is one of Mark Wahlberg's most re-watchable films. Despite knowing the tragic outcome, the film remains a gripping, edge-of-your-seat thriller. While it follows a familiar disaster movie formula, it executes it effectively. Featuring a strong cast, including Kurt Russell and Dylan O'Brien, and powerful subject matter, the film still underperformed at the box office. Poor marketing, a massive budget, and tough competition led to its disappointing results. A real shame for such a well-made film. And the 7th box office flop that deserved to be a success is Blade Runner 2049. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner is a sci-fi classic, so its legacy sequel had big shoes to fill. Fortunately, Denis Villeneuve exceeded expectations with Blade Runner 2049, a hauntingly beautiful, visually stunning epic. Despite its brilliance, the film flopped at the box office, hindered by its long runtime, R rating, and the original's limited mainstream appeal. While beloved by sci-fi fans, Blade Runner was never a Star Wars-level franchise. Still, 2049 is a modern sci-fi masterpiece, both visually and narratively. Fittingly, its financial failure mirrors that of the original, which later became a cult classic. And the 6th box office flop that deserved to be a success is Solo, a Star Wars story. For years, Star Wars seemed like a guaranteed box office success, until it wasn't. Solo, a Star Wars story, became the franchise's first and only true financial flop. While it may not have been a necessary prequel, it's a fun, well-crafted space western that deserved far more love than it received. Its failure can be attributed to several factors, from its massive budget to behind-the-scenes creative clashes. However, the reasons for its underperformance matter less than the fact that it shouldn't have flopped. With a fantastic cast, rich world building, and an entertaining fan service-filled story, Solo may not be the best Star Wars film, but it's certainly far from the worst. And on number 5, we have Nightmare Alley. Guillermo del Toro is one of Hollywood's most imaginative filmmakers. known for defying expectations with bold, unconventional projects. Nightmare Alley is a perfect example. Unlike much of his previous work, it features no supernatural creatures. Instead, the real monsters are human. The film is a stylish, pulpy neo-noir with a stellar cast and a dark, gripping story. Despite its quality, it struggled at the box office. Del Toro's films rarely draw massive crowds, and going up against Spider-Man: No Way Home only worsened its chances. Still, Nightmare Alley is so exceptional that Martin Scorsese penned an op-ed for the Los Angeles Times, urging audiences to experience it on the big screen. And the fourth movie on our list is West Side Story. Steven Spielberg, one of the most influential filmmakers of all time, ventured into musicals for the first time with his 2021 remake of West Side Story, and it felt like he'd been making them for years. The film is a stunning reimagining, arguably even surpassing the 1961 classic. Praised by critics and nominated for 7 Oscars, including Best Picture, it captivated those who saw it. Unfortunately, that audience was far too small. With a massive budget, the film struggled against the declining popularity of musicals and the lingering effects of the pandemic, making it an undeserved box office flop. And the third box office flop that deserved to be a success is The Suicide Squad. With James Gunn now leading the DCEU and his Superman movie just months away, it's a perfect time to revisit his first entry in the franchise, The Suicide Squad. Following David Ayer's poorly received Suicide Squad, a critical failure but box office success, fans were unsure about seeing the chaotic crew again. Fortunately, Gunn's take was a blast. The film's massive ensemble of perfectly cast villains makes for a wildly entertaining ride, with brutal R-rated action that keeps things thrilling. Sadly, despite its quality, The Suicide Squad flopped. Its massive budget, lack of broad interest in the characters, and the film industry's shaky pandemic recovery at the time all contributed to its disappointing box office performance. And on number 2, we have Turning Red. It's hard to ignore that Pixar hasn't been the same powerhouse it once was, especially in the 2020s. The studio, once the leader of American animation, has faced more flops than ever before. Unfortunately, Turning Red became its biggest financial failure. But did it deserve to? Not at all. Despite its poor box office performance, the film is one of the most underrated animated gems of the decade. Vibrant, heartfelt, and refreshingly unique, it tells a touching mother-daughter story with charm and relatability. However, Disney's misguided decision to release it simultaneously in theaters and on Disney Plus severely hurt its commercial potential. This misstep is just one example of how Disney Plus has weakened the studio's once mighty legacy. And the last box office flop that deserved to be a success is Babylon. After wowing audiences with Whiplash and La La Land, Damien Chazelle proved himself a filmmaker to watch. Though his First Man was less impactful, he remained a bold, genre-defying director. That risk-taking backfired with Babylon in 2022. With a 3+ hour runtime, graphic content, and mixed reviews, the film was destined to fail at the box office. However, cinephiles quickly recognized its brilliance. Babylon is a wild, over-the-top, darkly funny, and visually stunning love letter to classical Hollywood. It celebrates cinema's magic while exposing its depravity. A daring, passionate masterpiece that deserved far more success. Is there another box office flop you think deserved to be a success? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.